I think I'm going to do it. Peanut, you think we should do it? Peanut's indifferent. We're going to go ahead and do it. It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to. I'm going to do how to do a basic LS swap. What do you need to buy? How can you do it for less than $1,000? Let's do that shit. Why not? So, if you're on the internet, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm JR. I like to drink beer. I get annoyed when I see people on the internet saying that you can't possibly do an LS swap for less than $10 million. Because I know perfectly well that you can. However, choices matter, and what you start with matters. So I'm going to make a preface. I'm going to warn you ahead of time that it matters what you start with. If you start with something like I started with a C10 on this channel, very easy to LS swap. You already have a transmission that, you know, Chevy engines, bolt to, whatever. Lots of hood room, no problem. If you're starting with a Mazda RX-7 from 1985, it's a little harder. You gotta get lower intake, things like that. But, and another thing, if you have like some piece of shit 1997 Chevy 1500 and it's your only way to work and the 4.3 is knocking and it's burning a quart of oil every 3 miles and you think I'm going to slap an LS into it and it's going to be better, you're going to fail. But if you just want to put a better engine in, you don't know where to start, you've seen a bunch of videos, you've seen a bunch of opinions, you've seen a bunch of you can't possibly, ain't no way, I made $10,000 doing an LS swap, I do it all day, blah, 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 whatever. I'd like to cut through some of that for you. So, let's get started. First, you need an engine. This is one that I've had my eye on for a while. I might buy it after I get back from vacation. But we'll just go over to Marketplace, and you know, I know somebody's going to say, well, that's in your area, not in my area. I don't believe it anymore. I don't believe it. I've been all over the country. The videos are on the channel. I found 5.3s all over the damn country for very little money. I would say that a base price to pay for a 5.3, this one's $400. That's pretty well. A little over 200,000 miles. This is what you want to see. This dude has everything. This harness isn't cut to his PCM. He's got the fan on it. Even if you're not going to use it, he's got everything there. He unhooked it from the fuse block and he pulled it out as a unit. That engine will run. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. You don't need to do gaskets. You don't need to do while you're at it. You don't need to freshen it up. You don't need to do maybe I want to so I feel good. You don't need to do any of that. And I'm going to show you here on the OBS Chevy forum where some dude just did exactly that. Alright, sorry for the edit. Wasn't prepared. Whatever. I saw this the other day and it reminded me of so many stories that I see on the internet. And I see these people like in the groups and they'll post as if they're very authoritatively, very confidently, well, while you're at it, for my money, I'm going to freshen it up. I'm going to put new bearings in it. I'm going to drop a picture in here of exactly what a 240,000 mile LS bearing looks like. It came from under a tarp in my friend Lane's yard that is in a running engine today. They're fine. If it was running at the scene of the crash, it'll run now. It was running before, it'll run now. You don't have to mess with this. So this guy, you know, I've done a lot of engine replacements, blah, blah, blah. I feel bad for the guy, right? Like, pulled the engine down to a bare block. Skirts have no skirt coat. Pistons have no skirt coating, so I'm going to replace. I hate people say I'm a ion. It's probably like, fuck your shit up. Went to push the pins out of the rods and bent the second one something fierce. So new rods are on the docket as well. So this dude's taken an engine that was running, finger banged it every night until it doesn't run anymore, and now he needs a set of rods and feels like he needs a set of pistons, and he's going to go to the machine shop and on a 5.3 that you can get for $400 that ran when he started with it. So please, if you take nothing else away from this video, if you're doing your very first swap, Start here. You can clean this up. You can paint it if you want to. You can barely see it when it's in. And I pulled this engine or this photo of my truck up just so you can see. You cannot see that block so much. If you're painting your shit and cleaning it all up, you're doing it for social media. You can't see it. But whatever. You can clean it up if you want to. But don't take this all apart. Hook it up and get it running. And my promise to you is I'm going on vacation in a week. I need to paint the outside of my house and maybe the inside, these pink walls, whatever. I have some, life happen adult things to do in my life besides do projects. But within the next month, I'm going to take an engine just like this and get it running on a tire with this stuff in this video. Probably should have said that first. Maybe I'll put some text at the beginning. So anyway, start with something like this. Start with something complete. For me, in Michigan, 5.3s are so common in the junkyard and on Marketplace, and I'm not going to bother to pull one in the U-Pull and Save. Because this is $400 and this dude will load it in the back of my truck with a cherry picker. Or I can pull one myself for like $345. So I would rather not pull it myself. The only reason to do it, and there's that video's on the channel, is to show you guys how easy it is. I can pull them in like 45 minutes, and I don't do it every day. So anyway, from there, you've got your engine. You now need a PCM. You can use your stock PCM. You can use your stock harness. You don't have to do anything. You can hook up a few wires, and I'll show you how to do that on the channel coming this summer. But if you don't want to do that, John Flanders, who's a friend of mine, he will sell you a whole tuned PCM and harness ready to go, already thinned out. You don't have to thin them. You don't have to do anything. But he will sell you the kit for $500 shipped to your door and tuned for your cam. So you're not going to find a better deal than that. You're at $900 right now, and you have an engine that's ready to run, less fuel pump and exhaust. Ta-da! For fuel pumps, if you have an EFI tank, you should use an in-tank pump. And this is what I would use today. I would use this Evil Energy 255. This is what's in my truck, my GMC, my big block truck, if you're a regular viewer of the channel. This is what's in my truck right now. And I've driven it hundreds of miles so far in the past week that I've had it there. It works well. All the Evil Energy stuff works well. If you need more or you want an external pump or whatever, the Chemso pumps are still good. They're more money now. That's my only objection against them. If you don't have an EFI tank, you should figure out a way to get a sump or an EFI tank, or keep the thing above half full. There will be a link to my Amazon store, which is my affiliate link, which is stuff that I buy on Amazon, which is this stuff right here. So that might help you get you on your way. The factory regulator on a 03, 02 and down engine, which is not this one. This is a 03. So this is returnless. So there's only one feed. For that, you need to use... Shit. Whoops. Now you guys are going to see all my butt toys. For that, you need to use this style right here of filter regulator. The Evil Energy thing comes with the fittings you need to put it up to an AN6 line. And again, this is actually exactly what's in my 99 GMC with a Vortec 7.4. They work fine. Here to do turbo and everything else. If you're going to do turbo and everything else, click away from this video. But first, ask yourself, are you really going to do that? Do you really need to do that? Do you actually just want a cruiser? A lot to get into. But this is a basic video, so we'll move on. You have your fuel, you have your fuel pump, you have your fuel filter. You need plates. The cheapest ones on Amazon are no better or worse than the most expensive ones. If you already have a Chevy, they bolt to your clamshells just like this. For a second I thought that was my engine. These ones you can set it forward or set it back as you need.
Introducing the LS Swap motor mounts adapter.
Okay, weirdo. That's what you need to drop it in if you already have a small block. If you already have a transmission, Chevy transmission, you need the spacer. Forget all that 4L80 and all neutrals. Like, if you have a working, functioning 4L60, run that shit. Swap it later. The truck manifolds are very wide. They splay out a lot. Like in my C10, they won't clear the frame rail. They do clear in an OBS, a GMT 400, but it's still tight because they're very wide. But this style of cast iron manifold fits just about everything. They're very, very tight. They'll fit just about anything. If you have a full, like a G body, a B body, box Chevy, OBS Chevy, these will fit and work fine for you. And there's no gain to go into headers. I know people are like, 7 horsepower. Yeah, they're a lot more money and they're a lot more hassle. But you can get headers. I used to use, I actually have used the, shit, I can't remember what they're called. Let's see if we can come up with them. Fapo? That doesn't sound right. They are 1 7/8, the ones I have. $200. Man, I can't remember the name that mine went by, but they're probably out of business now. Here's the deal. The engine that I pulled so many years ago that kind of kicked this channel, well, did kick the channel into high gear. I wouldn't say it kicked it off. It's still in my truck. It still works. So... Unlike other channels, I'm not doing this for a living. I'm not doing it for a job. I'm not under pressure to make content, to get clicks, to get paid, or appease sponsors. So I kind of don't care. And also I don't have the budget, right? Like, I'm not just out here building shit to just get rid of it for content for you, because it's not my job. So I have no need to like endlessly swap engines. Anyway, cam, I wouldn't bother with one. I will tell you, I would not bother with one. But if you have to have a cam, I would talk to Mr. Richard Holdner, and I would get his low buck truck cam and spring package. I'd buy them together. You can use the LS6 springs for wherever you can find them. I just buy them together from him, and it's good for like 60 horsepower. It's good for the stock converter. It's good for the chop. It's a happy little cam. What I got here? Oh, this guy. I think that is it for this video. Like I said, you guys let me know down below if you want to see a return to this style of content. And like I said, my commitment to you, regardless, is that within a month, I'm going to be doing this. My nephew, I have a 5.3 for my 4Runner. So my nephew's been kind of goofing around about getting it out. He gave it to me. He said, you know, you can have it if you... I don't have a video of it. Said I can have it if I helped him haul it, which I'd help him haul it anyways, my nephew. But you get the idea. He bought the truck. He bought a truck for the transmission, and I said, well, what are you going to do with the engine? He said, I don't know, I'll probably sell it. There it is. So my nephew has this thing, the engine in it runs. I've heard it run. I've made it run. I'll either have this out in a month and it's free, and I'll assign myself a cost of $400 for it because of this, which I could get this for less. This dude wants to sell it. Anyway, I'll assign a cost for $400, and we will get that running on the ground for less than $1,000. My promise to you, before, give me a month, it is May 13th. Give me 6 weeks. Before the 4th of July, I'll have a 5.3 running with no Holly, no HP tuners, no harness, no extra bullshit, an external fuel pump, some line, and something like this. So, I hope you found this video helpful. I hope it was not as disjointing or rambling as I feel like it was. I thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on The Driveway Engineer.